Here, take a mouthful.
Oh, black fortunes. The fairy artifact. Millennia. Gone in a blink of an eye.
We have to get out of here. Another jolt and we'll be dead.
I'm not going anywhere without my notes.
Are you really willing to risk your life for them?
We'll need the notes to traverse the mountain. Your fairy has to find another way out.
But the orcs are on that side, and they've surely been following us. Nuri mustn't fall into their hands.
I can draw a safe passage back for her, but I'd need the notebook from my backpack.
Very well. The notebook it shall be. Notes. All right, I'll get his notes for him. Out of reach. The statue fell on the stick and cut it in half. Your stick is broken. The statue fell on the stick and cut it in half. This time it wasn't my fault. The other half is lodged beneath this statue. He has lost his sword. Now his hand is only grabbing thin air. Nuri, could you please? Well, good, thanks.
Atial nemune du leval. Is mantrairelli. Is lera mantrairelli.
I'd feel better if the stick had a barbed hook. The life's work of the explorer might vanish into the abyss, and that's the kind of disaster I don't want on my conscience. The arm of the fairy knight statue. The stick fits perfectly into the hole left by the sword handle.
Onmulila, Karen.
Here, this is for your fairy, the way out of the mountain. She must run to the mill that's marked here. That's where we'll meet again. Do you think she'll find the mill?
You can count on Nuri.
Good. Fairies tend to be a little unfocused.
It's flying away.
Fairy interference. I'm afraid everything in here will crumble apart very soon.
I'm not leaving Nuri behind.
Of course not. I'll make new directions. But you will have to get them to her another way.
Hold on, Nuri.
Here's another sheet with directions.
Are the items in there valuable? I'm sorry. You have to know that I bring bad luck.
Follow the directions to the mill. You can't miss it. The way should be safe. Come, my boy. It's time to leave. So the seer wants to get hold of Nuri Daran Elavanda. By Satinav. History has a way of repeating itself.
What do you mean by that?
Once before, the seer abused fairies by making them play the harp for him, until they lost their magic and fell victim to the darkness.
Nuri called them sad fairies. The seer sent them to follow our tracks.
Possible. Quite possible.
You fought alongside the king's heroes?
Hezinda forbid. I'd make a knight of miserable stature. When the young king asked me for help, the seer had long been in captivity, but I sealed the fairy gate in the stone oak forest.
So that was you?
For all time, the hardest decision in my whole life. But other fairies might have reached Andagast to play the harp.
How come you didn't find Nuri at the fairy gate back then?
There were rumors in those times that the heroes had saved a fairy from the seer's clutches, but nobody felt it necessary to introduce her to me before they let her go.
Why Nuri? There must be other fairies somewhere.
A good question. What do you know about Nuri and her homeworld?
Nuri never told me anything about her background.
Perhaps she was scared.
Of her home.
Or her past. The magic of the fairies can turn whole worlds upside down.
You mean Nuri's world might have changed since she's been here?
Well, that's why she came here in the first place.
Nuri can't use magic, or she'll either die or lose her soul.
I see.
We hoped you could help us.
I'm afraid I'd have to know more about the world she came from.
Do you know where Nuri comes from?
I was never able to explore the world behind the stone oak forest portal before I sealed it. But I have a theory. Nuri's home world might be the fairyland Nerutvana.
Nairutvana.
A colourful place. A land of bliss.
That doesn't sound too bad, does it? I wonder why she refuses to go back there. Do you know more about the magic harp?
It can only be played by the hands of a fairy. A human, even the seer, would perish in the attempt. That's because it was built by fairies.
What for?
It must harbour great power. Power that suits the seer well. Unfortunately, its whereabouts are unknown. We could examine it further otherwise. The Academy of Magicians never broke their silence about it to me. I can't blame them.
But why is it in our world and not with the fairies?
That's one thing that must be discovered. There must be records of Andagast in the Academy.
Did you know the seer?
No. But people told many stories about him. Rumours, you know?
What rumours?
That he had been born blind, yet touched by Satinav. Or cursed. He saw the future of others, but it was always death, mischief, and bad luck. Never any good or favourable things. Others claimed he was a warlock, driven by the desire to make his prophecies come true.
The seer once prophesied misfortune for me too. Is he trying to make that true also?
I am sure he has other goals. His own goals.
I don't know how long I'll be able to protect Nuri.
The burden you are carrying doesn't belong on your shoulders alone, Geron.
What do you mean?
Considering what he plans to do to Nuri, I will do everything in my power to help you.
Satinav. Satinav. The Raven mentioned the name once. Can you tell me more about Satinav?
You mean the steersman of the barge of time? The irresistible? Satinav was a mighty demigod who descended to the underworld to conquer the barge of time. But the gods punished him for his sacrilege. Now he's chained to the helm of the barge for all eternity and watches the stream of time. He and he alone can see the past and the future, but not even he can change either of them.
Is that why we see the damage the ravages of Satinav cause everywhere?
Yes, yet the damage they cause is not the same in every world.
Is there really no way to change the future?
Future? Past? What do those words mean? Tomorrow becomes yesterday quite fast, doesn't it?
The seer has seen the future. Mine too.
Don't believe what every blind man claims to have seen.
My head is buzzing. If Nuri falls into the hands of the seer, she'll be doomed.
He'll force her to unleash dark fairy magic on Undergast.
But to what end?
He is a seer. It has to be related to the future. After all the things he did in the past, we have to expect the worst. Your mentor only saw one way to prevent it all from happening.
I cannot kill Nuri, not even if our world would be saved from doom by doing it.
Geron, I'll never allow even one hair on Nuri Daranella Vander's head to be touched.
I am prepared to do whatever it takes.
So why don't we take her back to her world?
Nuri doesn't want to go back to her world.
But that's the only way. No matter what she fears, you'll have to take her back there. Otherwise, she'll die.
But haven't you sealed the gate to Nuri's world forever?
And it can never be reopened again. That's right. But there might be a second portal to Narutvana. It is said to be located in the Swamps of Lament, deep in the no-man's land of the Brinask Marshes.
Where exactly can I find this fairy gate?
There's a colleague of mine staying in Enqui, Meander Goswin. He has in his possession the crystal of Narutvana. It's a magic prism that points the way to the fairy gate. And it opens the gate as well. Or so I hope. In the meantime, I'll go to Andergast to research the whereabouts of the magic harp in the academy there. And who knows? Perhaps we'll find a way of rendering the harp harmless.
So it shall be.
Here, take these notes for your voyage. You will find Goswin's address, and all my knowledge concerning the fairy gate and the realm behind it.
I'm ready. Enqui, Meander Goswin, fairy prisms, swamps of lament, and soon Nuri will be home.
Wait. They say a mighty, very dangerous creature guards the fairy gate.
What kind of a creature, pray tell?
Its eye is said to petrify all living beings, just like a basilisk.
I was expecting as much. There's always a catch. Are there any other fairy gates? Ones that aren't as far away?
Those gates lead to different worlds in which Nuri would have to die. We cannot take that risk.
How can I get past the guardian of the gate?
No one has ever returned to give an answer to that question. Cheer up. Your namesake, St. Geron, once fought against the Basilisk King.
He was the mightiest hero of all time, and he possessed the divine sword Seven Stroke.
There's a hero inside everyone.
Why don't you go to Enqui, and I'll research the harp in Andergast?
The magicians weren't exactly my friends back then, but do you honestly believe they'd let someone like you into the academy?
All right, forget it.
Now our ways must part, Geron. Protect Nuri's life for all it's worth. Take her back home where she can be happy.
You have my thanks for everything. Wish me luck.
You will find your way. We'll meet again in Andergast.
Nuri, are you there? Oh!
doesn't tell us where she is.
I don't know. I'm not telling.
Let's make him wait in darkness till the bird arrives. The raven shall deal with him.
The raven?
He will make him talk. I'll get him. You watch the mill.
The raven belongs to the seer?
As soon as the sand runs out, the night herd will talk.
And his thread will break.
Ugh! There must be some kind of attic up there. Nuri!
Charon, are you all right?
Those creatures. I'm trapped.
There's a shard lying here. It's very sharp.
Great.
I'll throw it down to you.
No, wait,
Do you have it?
No.
You should have caught it.
Nuri,
Who knows where it is now?
I can't see anything.
That's because there are no rainbow crystals here.
Can you come down to me?
There is no staircase, and there's this pale man outside.
Didn't you say you can collect moonlight?
I get sick if I use magic.
I know, but if I can't free myself fast, I'll be dead.
But just very briefly, all right?
I promise. There. There's a hole way back there.
You said very briefly.
It's broken off, and that's why the sawmill isn't working anymore. Do you see that drum-like thing down there? Can you fix that for me? Nuri,
Garen, there's a beetle with 8 legs here.
that's just a spider.
Spiders have 12 legs.
Nuri, please, you have to focus now.
Okay.